Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. This is Gnomes, and this is a little late, yes, but we are starting rigging again. And this is my original character Aisha, and so today I won't do a lot, maybe twice of 30 minutes because it's late. But we instead to do something a little lighter and maybe occasionally some stuff of interest. All this that we see here in the list is like cheap stuff. Like nothing here is truly complicated. Well, maybe some things are a bit more like cloth rigging, but in principle what I mean is that mostly of this I've been through and I know what it is. I could clean this like very fast if I did it in whichever way. It's time consuming, it's a lot of details, but not that much actually, so try to do those fixes one by one and improve that. So cleans all this stuff, right? Not today, but that will be very nice, right? But no, so that means that in the end I will just remain with mouth rigging and pelvis joint rigging, yeah, hip thigh joint and pose assets, yeah. So actually, if I wanted, I could ignore most of this and say, well, the character is ready. So let's see what we can do about those improvements here. So to start with, I have a problem that I want to fix, and I found out what it was. So there's this I think this is because of the parenting connections of the bones that I've been doing. Actually, I'm not exactly sure how that happened. It's very bizarre. So I got the head displaced from its point. So in principle, yeah, let's hide the hair. Yeah, in principle the head should be reached there, but it is not. So maybe this was some sort of... Okay, so maybe one way to solve that, if I just pose the character, just got this idea, maybe that will help. And so if we compare with the model sheet, right, I got this displacement, so this can happen, right? You see, the chin should be here, the tip of the nose. It's a vertical displacement, maybe, mainly, and so there'll be many ways to do this, but I think the best way would be to use the animation, no, apply selected as rest pose, yeah. So just reposition the head, the control head bone, and all that comes along with it. So hopefully everything that is part of the head will follow. Well, we could realize this immediately. So for example, let's make sure everything is visible, and let's try to hide some bones and see if physics, well, this is for the hair, I guess. Okay, so this stuff for the eyes we want, then we have some mechanism we want to control. This can be hidden, this can be this controls this for the body, can be, well, maybe not, yeah, no, because there's those ones, we're gonna lift them together. This control I think we can hide, and that's it. So we'll see what will happen on pose mode. What bone is this? Just a random bone that I've made for, yeah, I don't know, just delete that. I was probably attempting to do something. So here, if I go on pose mode, okay, let's hide this for now. Now we see that we are lacking some parenting. No, I'm posing the wrong bone, folks. Here is just the head bone, it's here. Alright, so apparently all of the bones of the face, they are moving. So this should be safe. Although I'm not sure if through bone parenting or bone constraints or both. One or the other or both. So this could be an interesting process here, even for a highlight. So let's see. Oh, alright, so this is more complicated actually, because I have some eye key thing. What I want is, oh, I can lock the eye key. Okay, I see. I'll push the neck. Actually, I can, yeah, straighten up the neck. Let's look at this. We see that it's not enough. So I have to really do something about the okay, let's just select this bone here. We already know what's happening for the rest. After I can align, but I lose some. No, it's better not to rotate this. Yeah. Okay, let's okay, this is harder than I thought. Yeah, it was not my idea to use the I key for this, so let's just turn off this auto I key. Maybe this. Okay, the bone is connected parenting, so there's, I cannot really do it. Let's do a Control 4. It's my shortcut to take off this. Yeah, this posing will really disrupt the orientations. That will, if I don't match perfectly, bones that are aligned, it's not just the head bone that will need to align, all the others that are parent, they are moved together, so they'll be angularly compromised. And you see that even if I have this, it's not sufficient. So it's really like I've made some stretching of the bone, right? So okay, so I cannot use this technique, or I can, but it will be inadequate. So instead, because nothing connects directly to the head bone, I think it's just a question of yeah, maybe I could use this grid snap here. Just pick those two. No, okay, no, let's do this and this. I think it's, yeah, this also works. Okay, and I have an alignment. What is this? Oh, it's for the grease pencil, some reference. All right, so here I have a a calculation that I've noted somewhere. I've lost in the file, but I can recalculate it. I need to find a piece of paper. It's here. 14.11. So basically from let's say from the origin, and yeah, doesn't matter. Let's start from here. I'm not totally sure how. Okay, I need to get out from this mode. Gizmos hidden. Oh, there was a wrong shortcut, I guess. Yeah, because I was using, okay, this thing, so I don't have to redo it, right? I don't know how to optimize this, the doing of this, but here it is. So this is the height. So I don't really need to look at the model sheet here. It's more or less here that I want to have the joint of the neck. So it's really higher, and that maybe also means that something about the torso got compromised. We see the cloth, but we don't see the body. Just want to be sure here. Grease pencil. So this is super annoying, but we get used to this kind of things. Otherwise it will be much more difficult. I just can't do this because okay, so this body, okay, it's adapted for her already, apparently. Did I myself make these adjustments? No, this doesn't seem... Well, no, I should have, but then why do I have still... It's not possible that I've rechanged her size. No, I didn't do that. I ain't crazy to do that. I didn't stretch her body or rescale her to rematch the old character design. Not old, the one of her sister Dorothy. So this the face here is not important, it's just a means of comparison, but it's confusing, right? This is the right face, although I've made a lot of changes to the character design thanks to the top and bottom eyelid crease. Okay, so I don't need this, just wanted to look for the body, and indeed we need to raise the shoulders. And all right, okay, turn this off, turn this off, turn this off. So how to achieve that? If I move only the bones, that's not good enough. If I move only the mesh, is also not good enough. So and drinking all the wreak havoc that all of those can cause. So in the end, the best method, yeah, there's no best method. I need to stretch the neck, or oh, actually I see. All right, maybe it's not the head. That means if I can fix some other bone. Let's say, for example, it's parented connected, right? So scaling this will be bad. Of course, I'll have to move all the shoulders, right? Oh, yes, that might have been the case. Is this bone that I need to... If I can scale this bone without affecting the mesh, of course. That won't work, right? And the problem is that I don't remember how that happened. What is the culprit that caused this thing? This is why this is so annoying. Okay, so I can try something. Something gruesome like that. This scaling is wrong, but where is that thing? Does it only appear on... Yeah, I need there, okay. This is not good. Yeah, I'll have to mark it like this can help, and can even place it like here. Alright, so if I move all this up as a block so that I'm not stretching, almost forgot that. Let's make sure nothing is... And then I'll handle the something like that, right? Z positive like 1154 along local global Z. 1154. Okay, this change on edit mode of the armature, of course, is terrible. But then, there's the cloth, right? The cloth can wait, but since we have, there's hair. Should I do with everything? Okay, let's do it. These objects will have to also go up. All of that, right? Not this one. Yeah, the hair I can move manually. They are objects, alright. Hair circlet, this moves with the head. The eye stuff is correct. Oh, I need to make this selectable, right? Then start to have problem with the GZ global 0.1154. Then here, now for the meshes, right? It is very chaotic. So, not chaotic, it's like pretty daunting, but in the end it should work. So I don't need the lower, yeah, it's just maybe here, yeah, just these two pieces of clothes, of course, and then the body. So I'm gonna pick this, make sure there's no hidden mesh here, and I'll avoid this mesh here. GZ 0.1154. And so now pray that this will not have broken anything fundamental. Well, I'll have probably to apply those actually, yeah, let's just save a backup here. Not a backup, let's work in progress and apply all transforms. Alright, so now the origin of everything is there again. Hopefully this can be deleted now. I should be ready to make the test. So the positioning of the eye seems to be correct. I think we've lost some parenting there. Or it never had parenting. Looks like this got lost from some features. Needs no armature modifier for this one. It's just the parent to the deaf head bone. Parent to, but bone relative. This is the new method. Although it doesn't show here. Oh, I think something went wrong here. No, there it is. Doesn't say bone relative, but it doesn't matter. Face ghost mesh. Well, this is armature. This is alright, and this is also correct. Let's test the face rig here with the bone manager. Her neck seems a little awkward. This can be probably improved if I this thing is still not following the face ghost. What is that? Oh, that is okay, of course I remember. This is not the ghost mesh. This was just okay. So because this is bone, but this is a replica of that for another purpose. It's a ghost mesh of the face, and it includes this. Otherwise we can't double target, so I'll have to have ghost mesh for the eyes as well too. So here what I need here to do is to wave paint that ghost mesh in relation to the head bone. Yes. Vertex groups. Now I want the head bone. This is a very low influence rate. Yeah, just to have influence, so it will carry that mesh. but then yeah, of course I need to reach. I need a mask here. It's separated mesh, so I just have to do this again. $30 already. Let's go again. Okay, here, then control here, wave paint mode, mask, wave paint maximum, and there we go. So now this thing should be on the right position. Yes, good. Also, yeah, so for the neck alignment or improvement, this is another. This, for that I could indeed attempt some, let's see, auto A key level 2. Yeah, I cannot control the yeah, so the connected bones is always some sort of problem for yeah, it's like I cannot move the head in a straight line, or if I can, I don't know how that would be achieved. But anyways, let's check the model sheet now. Right, so why it, okay, it's just not showing because, oh, this is better. All right, sort of didn't know this one. Of course, we don't need all that. So we see that this is not sufficient. My calculation was not completely accurate regarding the mesh there. All again, well, maybe yes, but that I would do is live stream. So maybe this is why the neck still looks bad, and but for the from the perspective of the drawing, yeah, neck needs to be pushed back a little. As for the arms, I don't see, I'll have to look at the arms could go up. Yeah, so it's still a little more work there. As for the face, the same thing. So the eyes here is new, so I've made a new, I started to make top lid crease and bottom lid crease, so this yeah, what's annoying thing here, really, that completely disrupted my workflow. Okay, if I knew a better solution to make that, but okay. We made some improvement, but it's not sufficient, so we're gonna have to do this all over again for the completion of that. I cannot just rescale the bones. That will... Wait, I can, because that won't apply the scale to the mesh, right? Interesting proposition. So basically there are many things that I have to address anyway. So first of all, by making those changes, probably we got some messed up stretch bones here. Not this one, just those in the bottom, in the top. Alright, those ones should be fine. Yeah, those ones are unmoved. The setup, yeah, so something important that we need to be aware, folks, is about, let's save here, is about making sure that the rig works for scaling, rescaling. So I'm gonna make a test here. We want to see all of the features of the character. And I'm gonna... This character is already gigantic because this is not 1 meter, this is 10 meters. This is because of physics. So, if you don't believe this, then check this. See, about 10 meters. This is 1 meter. So we need to address the scaling on certain projects, and sometimes it's good to make sure that nothing on the armature is compromised by the scaling. So let's scale 100 times bigger to make sure. This is exaggerated, right? But this is just to make sure that nothing is... Well, my camera barely moves. This is too big, but you see, yeah, let's go. Yeah, we don't need to do that. Let's do 10 times, right? Just 10 times, it's already a lot. It's sufficient, or could do the inverse, 0.1, right? From here. The effects would happen anyways. You see, the armature isn't compromised, but I'll show you what was happening. Reset scale. So folks, here I think it's a cool tip for some sort of highlight. Yes, so it's very good to be able to see if the armature is scaling properly, the bones, the structure, the rigged model, right? So I was saying right before, if we scale up the project, like if we import this in somewhere, sometimes we rescale the whole rigged model, and sometimes this can break the armature. So I could make like a scale up 10 times and see if something breaks in the armature apparently, or in the character. All the bones are showing, or actually not, and hide everything. So we see everything here, right, for the armature, and we see all the objects in principle. Well, the object of the character, there's nothing here, so it doesn't matter. The grease pencil and widgets, I don't care. So here is the yeah, all of the stuff are here and are visible, and I've scaled temporarily just to test 10 times up. Could be the inverse, right? So like scale down 0.1, but maybe for certain features will be easy to, so reset scale, scale up. We can even scale to 100 if we are not totally sure, but then look how slow it is to move, and also it's we lose the vision clipping. It's too much distance to cover, so let's not do this. Let's just reset scale. Let's move here, home and dot. There we go. So period. Then I know an example here of things that can break in an armature. For example, I was having here, as soon as I've imported her and rescaled on another project, so I had these widgets here, and I was with the owner on owner space, and see what happens. World space. So because of world space, this is a limit scale. It was meant because in this rig, this bone here, it's is parent of this. We don't see here because of the bone relation. Okay, it's a parent of the thing for an automation there, and so it inherit, because of the parenting, it strongly inherits the scaling. So that's why I've decided, well, how I'll solve that. There are many ways to solve that and do this differently, but I've decided to do this. And so this limit scale with world space, this space creates a lot of problems for this kind of issue. So world space is usually not good for rigging characters. Only good pose space is, like, because world space is dependent on world space. Pose space is dependent on the armature's orientation, the object. So like axis here for the armature, see? So this is the proper. So pose spaces is safer. It should be default, but it's not. It's world space. So this can cause many issues in some other things. Sometimes it can be good, but usually world space is like, I don't know all the case scenarios, of course, but usually world space would be to think when you want to relate the character to the environment, water, floor, stuff like that, right? Space, ceiling, I don't know, walls, something that can really be an pose space is more like internal. It's more local, right? It's more a local space of a more localized world space, so it's safer for the character. And so by just changing that, or it could be something else, maybe local space here, but I'll show another example which is much more problematic than this one. So here we'll avoid this scaling from the object of itself, right? The armature, it's 10 times more. Could even apply scale here. No, I think this is not a good idea. So we can already see the problems if we do this. We don't need to apply. Yeah, I think this is another question. So you see that the things changed, right? So I'll give another example here because I have this in my rig. Exactly, there is some sort of limit distance, limit distance bone constraints. So what that does, limit distance, is for the, it can be used in several ways. It's very interesting bone constraint. So it can sort of remembers a bit of a shrink wrap bone constraint inside and outside, but because you have this clamp region, so it remembers. So here this is clamped inside. It's, imagine a sphere inside of this is the I key, master I key bone, right, for the left hand. So imagine this, there's a distance here, and you see they have calculated by pose spaces. So this is not world spaces. If we change this to world space, immediately this 5 meters is, because I've scaled the armature on other absolute dimensions, immediately this causes problems because of the rescaling. But if I go back to the original, it's not problematic. You see, welcome Rex, hola. Sí, muy bien. So here you see world space. Thanks. Yeah, so I'm presenting a highlight here and doing some miscellaneous rigging. Thanks and welcome to the channel, Rex. So here this world space is bad for scaling armature stuff, right, for different projects. So you see this distance is based in world space, but, and then you see the other arm doesn't have this problem because it is using pose space. So world space will ruin rigs. It's bad. It's very, let's say world space is truly very specific, right? So it's not, pose space should be the default, and world space will be stuff to be more specific for those cases that I've mentioned, water, environmental relations. So that was for the highlight. I think that is interesting, rare topic, and it rarely occurs because you need to be using first of all those strange bone constraints with some specifics. And so this is why in all my rig I usually try to get pose space whenever there would be world space. If it's not something specific to environmental rigging of the character, right, the character relation to the scenery, then I go pose space. It does essentially the same thing, but better for the more generic, right? So we can. All right, so let's now get to the next topic. This was the pose space. Yeah, so I was assessing. Oops, I need to reset here. I was assessing the scale here. Reset scale. Okay, we go back here and home and period. There we go. So in principle, now everything is correct. So I had this problem on this one, but now it's also fixed. Just a pose space instead of world space. All right, so now let's see, we fixed some check rescaling issues. So apparently this character is completely right regarding this scale thing. It might just have a problem when we get to the maybe the very difficult problem of applying scales to, if you want to apply to the object. So this is a very tricky thing. So here we gotta check this information here. So today 16, we'll consider this yesterday. Got that fixed. Then check height. Yeah, I checked, but it's not complete. We need to do this fixing a little more, and I think I won't do this today. The problem is that this will, if I don't solve this now, it still be more stuff that I'll have to be changing, but we saw we can manage that, so that's fine. So what I need here is to Yeah, let's duplicate that and do again. Cloth rigging, I think it won't have time, but I want to make this setup here. Extra top and bottom forehead, cheek expressive deforms, outer orbicularis oculi setup. So basically these are muscles on top and flesh on top of the eye hole and bottom on the bottom of the eye hole. So it's extra top and bottom forehead and cheek extra. So cheek because it's below. Maybe it's not technically the cheek, but it's very close to it. So we're gonna make I don't know if this character needs it, but that's why I'm gonna assess that. So I have these eyes and eye hole things and the eyebrows. Let's look for the armature object here. We don't want to be... Yeah, let's disable all those things. Yes, that is fine. Then hair, we don't... Yeah, maybe we'll have to hide the hair temporarily. Not hide, this is actually exclude. Yeah, exclude, whatever. And cloth, yeah, no, cloth we don't mess with it, just make it not selectable. And the body we can also leave it unselectable. So you just want the armature, that's it. So here, this setup is gonna be relatively simple because we already have bendy bone spline, so maybe I can reuse a simple bendy bone spline. Maybe it won't be good enough for the expression that we want, so I can totally do this from the perspective of the eyelids rig. Yeah, so we can like duplicate this and place it here. Actually, this will be the here bounding box center. Then we get this one, these two bendy bone splines, Shift D and move them here. So now probably we want to rename those things. So we're gonna call this instead Control F2B. Oh, I need to set here B inside here. Okay, then find replace. Okay, what's the name? Eye hole. So instead of eye hole, substitute this for forehead. So I have naturally. So how to destroy these names? Well, just call this one. No, doesn't work. Okay, something didn't work here. Oh, of course, I've got wrong something about the operator. Not find and replace. Of course, no, it's eyelid. I was mistaken. All right, now this is correct. Now we can. Unfortunately for this, I don't know a good solution. Oh, there's no top rate. It's already... So let's just... Strip characters could be that, right? Strip character. No, it's a find replace, so you get this top and for substitute for nothing. There we go. Alright, and then I'll work on the forms later and the positioning. So let's do the same here for similar for this one. So chick, yeah, that could be chick. Okay, so this is so take off bot. Next we're gonna change eyelid to cheek, and maybe strip characters at the end. Yeah, but it was not sufficient, so get here. Sort of worked, but I expected a little better. Alright, so here we got this one too. Time for, we can symmetrize this, right? Both of them. It's good to do this before symmetrization, less bones to care about naming. If they got symmetrized with wrong names, it's even worse, to my experience. So I've been liking to work like that. Now maybe we want this to be on, just for now the colors here. I'm missing colors for this stuff because these already have got, yeah, there's eye holes. Yeah, so actually let's mimic this. Yeah, actually, yeah, let's make a new, we need some divisions here, right? So def eyelids, select color, then this one too. Let's move all these to eyelids for now. I think I'm playing animation. Okay, this is wrong. Okay. And another one will be, so make a hierarchy here. Eye hole, eyelids, deform eyes. What is this? Oh, this is eyebrows, right? So eyebrows, eyebrow, the eyebrow. So here, eye holes. Okay, this is correct. This is incorrect, so you need to separate these ones. I have already made the collection, so Alt M to, not yet. Let's first change this and give this to forehead and cheeks. So that will be Alt M, forehead and cheeks. Alt M is my shortcut for this transfer. I've made it manual, otherwise it's something else, I'm not sure. Alright, so now that we have these ones, again, sorry folks, let's do another 30 minutes. This is being productive, although low pace, but steadily working on. So here, I don't want to be looking at the eyebrows, nor the eyelids, so I need the eye holes. We're gonna select bone color here. We're gonna change this for this one, and same here. I'm gonna pick all these ones and swap to this one. Yeah, so even though they are similar, there is some gap space, well, not so much here. So, well, I've just got another idea. Yeah, there's this yellow color, why not, right? The fact is, I'm a bit out of colors here for this. Yeah, but this is part of the skin, so at least it makes sense, because this is eyebrow, this is eyelids, then the eye hole, which is around the, exactly shapes the eye hole. So right now we can get into the medium point and try to go on edit mode. We can try to match now this, let's maybe some snap to face project. This is not working. We need to, of course, include non-edited. So here the positioning might be tricky. I'm not sure exactly where, how much the extension we need of this. So a lot of things to this particular rig. Yeah, it's sort of my old Orbicularis Oculi idea, not mine idea, but the Orbicularis Oculi rig, the way I used to do before, right? It was not the eye hole, it was circular, not separated here. So these ones are really meant to control outside. Yeah, at this point we don't need to be looking at anything else. And this indeed can follow this curvature, right? So ideally we'd like to, we could have just a single bendy bone spline, right folks, but trying to follow the curvature of the mesh, the topology, or if not, well, this topology here is a bit bizarre, right? But the geometry. Try to follow the geometry and the face loops, the edge loops, and also for now the orientations. Z-axis, we see it's pointing there, so nothing outwards, so this seems to be more quite accurate. This one maybe can be a little corrected like that. So the bendy bones, they will, in principle, they are matching. There's really nothing serious here that we can do this, and that it's annoying. We need to make some difference here. Snap Okay, so first align the bendy bone to the start handle, and then re-snap. And then of course after we are sure that these rolls are correct, and they seem to be correct, yeah. So now the bendy bone has exactly 98 degrees, 90, well, '91, '91, and as we snap, yeah, it goes 98. So okay, they don't have the same, they eventually lose, but that's, at least they are approximate. So let's see if this is correct. 115. So see, they're nothing too radically different, right? They are just reducing their values, and the orientations here of the Z trying to match to the normal of the face, although, or frontal, but here is very incorrect, right? So let's try to do this alignment here instead. Okay, and then here we can do this, align this and snap, align here and snap. There we go. So this can be done, should be nice. These, why this, the size of these bendy bones don't look very, the length. So let's pick one of a reference like this one. Let's call it a 0.05. So for all these bones, let's add with alt this same value. Okay, and this is fine because this is not a value, because the setup here of the bendy bones is different. So I can stack them as a fake continuous connected. This is tangent, start handle as tangent. So they start here. You see the bones start here and end there, right? This is the direction. But so they start at the head of the, so this is, to do this we need to use the tangent start handle, and then it ends at the head of the so that is absolute. So start handle tangent and the handle absolute, and targeting of course this so it's just a different setup here which allows the, in this case this is not very helpful. The only good thing that helps here is maybe it's a bit more regular. I've been doing this for other parts of the rig here. In this case it wouldn't be too much problem. It was important for the spine though to do that, the bendy bones of the spine that I have there. And then also what else? Yes, the good thing of this setup also is that we don't need to, we can make the scale of this one in the middle, all of them the different, all the same. It doesn't really matter. Only even scaling this one is not a problem now, right? Because the bendy bone is not relying on the tail of the handle for anything directly. Alright, so now this setup has been made, except that we need to reset and reset and reset and reset, and we can symmetrize on edit mode. Now some twitching on the no big deal. I don't know exactly what's causing it, but doesn't matter. So no wave paint here. We need to create some sort of mask here. and we're going to we need to have the body selectable. I need to hide some mesh, so let's see here what would work. Yeah, I don't want here to have influence on the rest too much, so gonna start with hide. This is dangerous, take this off. The search, I've reported that or made some. This is not sufficient, so head first. Eyelids border, let's hide these vertices. Eyelids, hide these faces. Yes, that can be. Eyelashes, we don't want to be looking at that, and this is something else. All right, so I want to get the wave paint I can start with that. All right. Yeah, let's use this as a mask, and then maybe, yes, take off this. I'm not very sure here, but let's try. Yeah, it's not very simple. Let's try this, or maybe yeah, maybe there should be influence over here. So okay, let's leave like that, and invert. Now I'm gonna wave paint, yeah, not the ghost mesh, but these are just gonna reproduce the mesh later. So let's wave paint that. There's no wave paint here yet, so let's go back here and want some soundtrack. Alright. So here now, wave painting with the mask tools. I don't have a lot of geometry to play with, so this is not super. I think just some okay influence about here. This is the first bendy bone spline, so it could get. There's the problem of the bendy bone spline in the middle. Totally forgot about that. Well, let's see what will happen. Probably nothing great, but if it's too bad, we probably will have to take that off. But for now, yeah. So that's after that. Just smooth this out. Maybe the most influence will be here. All right, so yeah, can do that, and let's try that. Okay. Next. So I'm using the mix. Alright, so first giving this hard influence here. Here we don't want to reach the other side, so try to keep in this extension here. More blurring here below maybe, or was it here? I'm not sure. So yeah, it was more blurry on the top apparently. We can always test, right? But to test we need to lose the mask. Okay, so it's not too bad, but there are some deformings that are not very, they are a bit strange. Those are extra ones, right? So yeah, so yeah, those deforms there are not good, because this stretches the bone. This is something about the, maybe this can be avoided. So it might be something about the bendy bone, the stretching of the bendy bone. So there's many things that affect it. So first of all, volume variation. This can be, we can do something about this, but for now maybe, I don't know this one. Multiply B bone. I don't know if that, it's usually associated with scaling, so there is some scaling here. So let's see if, so I don't know how these settings would work. This, oh, maybe I need to, no, it's just one bendy bone. Yeah, not, it's not for the handles, these settings. So no, this doesn't seem to be affecting. Okay, so let's leave it like that, but then let's check the stretch tool, right? So the stretch tool, so little stretching here, there are minimum and maximum. This should be boring, but you see it doesn't solve the problem. You still have, this is the weirdest thing, right? This can happen with, so I don't know how to avoid, how to prevent this. See, maintain volume, but it's not. I try to do volume variation maybe. No, still not. It's like, it's hard to get these things right. Yeah, nothing changed, and I knew some, I think I've recorded something about this, but I have to recheck. So for now, yeah, these are the default settings. All right, so so this is not very nice what's happening there. So this can be avoided by simply reducing or actually even, I'm not sure this will be a great idea, but first take off all the waves from the middle and then just blurring these. Yeah, take off whichever. Yeah, like we can make a very much harsher delimitation for where those bones, bendy bones, impact. So maybe just making these waves really like nothing here, for example. And yeah, we can reach there. And here, so this mix here we got here, we can leave it some, maybe do this, and here, yeah, but here we do less, and here, yeah, and so here we do take off all this. Bendy bones can cause a lot of problem with regarding this blended waves, so they can be pretty dangerous. They create stretching artifacts that, so you should be aware about that when using bendy bones, for example, trying to solve certain, using them for corrective methods. Yeah, it can be very tricky. So I want this value here. Let's try to mimic this other side. So it was something here, and here we got, yeah, and maybe something here, I'm not sure. Here I'm just trying to make the curvature. Let's check. Yeah, now this looks still not ideal, but you see this is much, it's much better, and I can risk here, there's no problem in trying that. Let's see what happens if I get now this. Yeah, it doesn't seem too problematic. It's not like, it's not, yeah, you see here, this can be troublesome. So could be that there's just too much waves, but also it's, yeah, so I gave it a very minimum value, but it still affects by a lot. And here, all right, and this is it's symmetrizing already. So we can say that this is doing some sort of okay job, but we need controllers for this. I'll try to finish the lower side now. And this, I think this one is much harder for me. I haven't, because I haven't found yet the proper way to deform this cheek or the skin here in this character design. So I'm gonna use the mix here. Let's pick this value, and I don't know where the highest, yeah, I shouldn't try to mimic, it's a different mesh, right? So let's make it something. First, let's bring these waves more strength, then a little here, not mix, not encounter the center. No, we can encounter the center indeed, but we'll do that later. So yeah, I can also add these waves here. Okay, let's do this now. And for these ones, this is where I'm placing more waves. Okay, so it's very minimal area. So here we can also have some influence pushing that. I'm not sure, so we can try. And here also like pulling those the mesh here like anatomically, right? We'll see what will happen. And this same thing, we'll try to, but we can't afford this influence there. We can try this. And here just blur before I test. I just try to complete the work here. Not sure about these ones. Yeah, this is probably bad. Alright, let's try now. Yeah, this actually seems to be working. Interesting. Okay, here maybe too much in the influence there and here, but it sounds like good. Yes, surprisingly. And here maybe this is not very smart, right? Let's try to reduce. What is the amount that you have? There's super low amount, right? So and you see how much that influence, little movement there, really, that's crazy, right? Oh, maybe because of the ratios of the head. I don't have, okay, so this is probably happening because it is this not normalized waves, and this is like the head has like very low waves here. It's not, so this is taking, this is not, this is fake, folks. I need to, this one seems to be good though. Yeah, and all the rest, I need more deformed bones for the face before I have a clear understanding, but at least we see that there's potential here, and this should also be working in sync. Alright, so I'm not gonna touch this now, and this works for the other side because of symmetrization. I leave that for now. Apparently this is working setup, but we need to go for the control rig here. Not totally sure how I'm gonna manage this. This is no dependency cycles, those are other stuff. I think it's not related. So we need to make those controllers. Let's see, how did I do that on the other case? I didn't, they were just like, exactly, the no tweak bones here, they're just some sort of controllers. The eye hole would be shaping this. Oh, that's not too bad. It's not a terrible idea. And we can retweak. So they already hold some they inherited the bone constraints from, as if they were eyelids. which is not super accurate, right? The eyelids is, they should be more like the eyebrows. I'm not gonna finish this other. Yeah, so these setups needs to be reworked, but basically this shrink wraps, yeah, shrink wrap to eye surface. No, we're gonna change this. Okay, so first change the target here, because here we have a better target. We're gonna change the face ghost here, which is all around. This is a mesh that is located here. This mesh is a ghost mesh for the face. It includes this static field of the eye to help, and also so it's invisible, and it should be it's show display as wire, and it is behind. And anyways, it's not behind, it has the same, it's the duplicate, but on a with the specifics. Anyways, here this is the real mesh though. These setups work for the mouth rig, the universal sonic mouth rig, so I'm trying to reproduce it here, and it sort of worked as an alternative. It works very good solution for the eyebrows. So the eyebrows here doesn't have shrink wrap modifier themselves. They have shrink wrap on the shrink wrap bone constraint, so they are control rig, but because they are controlled by the mesh is controlled by the deform rig skinning, right? Then it's bad. I found it's better because then we don't have warping artifacts because of the shrink wrap modifier. I think I've presented this somewhere recently, but anyways, this was a tutorial or some other stuff. What's happening here? Of course, we have posed bones that we need to reset. Alright, so here what matters is that we need to address, okay, the shrink wrapping things, but I'm not sure if this is complete. The targets were lost except for this one. Okay, now the targets are done, right? So you can't push this inside the ghost, which can be some sort of limiting, but at least there won't be some crazy intersections. This will help a little. Now there are some issues that can arise through that though, so let's be careful. Now the bone constraint, right? Well, I think I can visualize this, or can't I visualize this? Okay, so they are so though they need to move more or less, they okay, the shrink wrap we don't see. This is the eye hole 2, 3, 4. So this is I hold 2, 3, 4, so this is the center one. We can maybe reduce this influence, and reduce this influence. So we get subtler motions there. I think that makes sense. The match is not so close, right? Then here, maybe here this can be augment a little this. I hold 2 and I hold this, can be maybe reduced a little, and another I hold 4. No, this was not right. And this one, okay, this is influenced by the 4. Let's reduce. Then the 2. And that's it. So they still have influences, but yeah, not sure. This is somewhat arbitrary, but it seems to be working. There's something here, but this is the eyebrows rig, something I have to improve. It's just this one that the curvature is not that good. And yeah, with more mesh subdivision we can get some better results. So here maybe this is moving too much, so this is the 5, 6, 7. No, this is 1. So 5, 6, 1. Here they loop. So this is the last one. So here is 6, 5, 6. Right, this. So the 6. Let's reduce this by a lot. Yeah, even more. This should be fine. Nice. Then not completed this yet. So this has from the 5, right? This is moving too much, right? Alright, this is fair, and then it's stacking, right? Those are stacking. So this moves from the 5, alright? Can move a little more actually, because of the angle that it got. It seems to be accurate. Then, well, maybe just like here, yeah. And then we want also the next one is the 6, so is this one. With this one we can reduce the influence, not too much change from this. Alright, so this essentially is this one, and the other is the bonus. Now this one moves a lot, right? So we don't want this motion here from this one, right? can reduce this largely, so it was, yeah, maybe something like that. Feels too much, so this is must be very, no, it's this one. This one must be subtler. This shouldn't be moving also a lot because of the other, so let's reduce this. And it doesn't move because of this one, so that's correct. Yeah, so maybe just reducing here. Let's exchange this because I think this one is in the front. Here we got 6 and 5, right? And this 5 and 6. All right, it's closer, so it makes more sense to be organized that way. Okay, and this one just reduce slightly more, and this also reduce a little more. So yes, so this will be, oh, actually also let's disable this and symmetrize, so all those both constraints get symmetrized. There we go. We have something happening there. This is because of the distance. I think this is no, still. Oh, of course, it's because the mesh is still, I have to duplicate the mesh. Okay, so I think this, for the ghost mesh, it needs the wave painting. So I have these seams that I think Shift D, P, selection, then I got back here to the ghost mesh. So this is a tedious process, but it's not too hard. Just don't lose what we have duplicated there. This is, I don't know what's happening here. No, not here, it's the face ghost. Yeah, okay, so you got, I'm gonna delete this mesh here, and I'll get this one and join there. Now this is the updated mesh. I don't know what happened there, that gone wild, but yeah, something about okay, I don't know what is this stuff, but doesn't look good. I'll save on another version anyways. So if I look at the armature, and let's look at the hair. Yeah, so I have this effect. It's like, it's not something super important. Maybe here is more important than the top. And we could just do, instead of adding those bones, we could have solved this by just adding more subtle wave painting. So it's like the continuation of the bendy bone here, with this bendy bone for the lower eye hole. It will affect this similarly, but the fact that we have other layer of bones here, it just makes yeah, that can cause some trembling sometimes because of some bad interaction here. Yeah, it's happening. So it's a bit dirty, and there is we'll see better if maybe there is some problem going on that I'm not aware, but in principle the thing is doing its work. And we have already a lot of cool expressions. Though it's I still have the eyelashes to improve and something about the eyelid, but in principle, yeah, this is already very nice. The eyebrow also could have some, everything can always improve in 3D, right? I guess it's very hard to make the perfect solution in this. This eyebrow looks like a worm. I need to find a better shading for it, maybe. Okay, so we have, the important thing is that I'm able to get plenty of cool expressions now. And yes, so we were able to add up those things. They are symmetrized, they work, they are automated, but there are some times that some warping thing happen. Not this, but the bones get they don't move correctly in some their path. There's some things here that I need to improve. But yeah, essentially this is already working fine. So the idea worked. It was not that hard, but and we have more experience about this lower part. I have the impression that this works better than just wave painting the bendy bones for what would be the eye hole. If you really want to simplify this as much as possible, you can probably just wave paint from the eyelids mesh, just these bendy bones here, all the mesh around, because only the eyelids mesh is shrink wrapped to the eye surface there. So while the eyelids mesh will stay on top, surfing on top of the eye, the rest of the mesh there on the orbicularis oculi muscle regions, they will just be moving, like deformed by these bendy bones if their waves extended more. It's not the case. This is very precise rig, so these are really for just the eyelids, and that's it. So I have, but we could simplify and do, instead of all those bendy bone splines or layers, we could just make one single one and deform everything all together, but then we would lose some controls, right? And here the idea is to be able to have very smooth expressions, cool expressions, cartoons. So you have the eyelid lid crease there that shapes from the eye open. Yeah, I'll need to be going. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the issue here, and but we got this thing solved here. Many improvements here, right, folks? And as we start fixing this one by one, we can end up going to the mouth rigging and then the pelvis rigging, and that will be probably the end. So I'm very close to it. If I work offline just a little more, I focus, I can bring those things and this character will be completed finally, folks. So thanks for watching, take care, and happy blending, folks. See ya tomorrow. I'll be back trying to be sooner and bring more news on rigging. Yeah, that's it, folks. Take care.